What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the FYTCAST. Today is the 30th of May. We are 1 week gone from the Usyk Rico Verhoeven fight. And what a fight that was. What an absolute legendary fight that was. Nagi,
Crazy.
tell me about it.
Where do we start, man? It threw everybody off. Everybody off. No one expected that. Rico came out and pulled out the performance that no one expected at all, man. It was unbelievable.
And do you know what's interesting is he's getting slated a lot for his style. And to be fair, he even gunned himself when he put up that Me, Myself and Irene video. Did you see it?
So funny.
And it's so funny, but when you actually think about what Rico was doing and you think about who his trainer was, Peter Fury, you have to acknowledge the fact that actually what he was doing in the ring was textbook boxing.
Yeah.
It looks strange because we don't see that level of discipline for 11 rounds where the guy is moving his head, moving his hands up and down, moving around the ring. We don't see that level of concentration and that level second by second, moment by moment. He's doing the thing that he needs to do.
Perfectly. It was that herky jerky like gypsy style. And it's a sick thing about Peter Fury is you can see a very similar style to when Tyson Fury fought Klitschko. Very similar style in that fight. Very similar style if you ever watch Savannah Marshall. You ever watch Savannah Marshall? Kind of similar herky-jerky kind of style. Your head's leaning over your shoulders, but your shoulders are coming forward. So it's very fitting of a Peter Fury sort of game plan and his style. But what a performance. You have to tip your hat to him, man. Rico done main event. That was sick.
All right, so tell me this then, okay? Because what we saw someone who won pretty much every single one of those rounds, right? At least 8 out of the 10 rounds prior to the 11th round where the decision was made. 8 out of the 10 rounds, Rico was winning. Rico was up. So the question is, should it have been stopped?
I will say it should never have been stopped when it was stopped. I will also add as a caveat, I don't think Rico won as many rounds as a lot of the sort of people who have been commenting on it have sort of stated. I thought it was closer than what a lot of the sort of commentators and sort of other boxing pundits have said about it. But yeah, it should never have been stopped then. Bro, to be honest, he got a knockdown, he got up, he had all his faculties about him, and the bell went as well, which is crazy. Let him go back to his corner and let him recover and come back out for the 12th at least. I think a big mistake was made there.
No, 100%. And you know what? When I was thinking about it, when I watched it, I remember thinking in my head, welcome to boxing, Rico. Because this is really the lesson that you're not able to learn about boxing from any trainer, which is that the champions will always get the upper hand. It doesn't matter what that looks like. The referees, the judges, the whole promotion, everything will want the champion to win. And any small glimpses where the champion could win, the advantage will be given to the champion. And I think that is exactly what happened. And what happened was actually two things. One was everyone's criticizing Usyk for not having won the fight or the fight getting stopped, etc. And fair, it got stopped after the bell. The guy was winning the fight on points, right? Whether the judges actually saw that the same way or not is a different story. Everyone else saw it the way that we did. But that being said, Usyk still turned up. Usyk still showed up. He was still throwing the jabs. He's still hooking. He got him with the uppercut, and it was the uppercut that was the big deciding factor in all of this. And so you have to give credit to the fact that no matter how far down Usyk was, he did have that comeback at the end. He did knock down Rico at the end, and then the advantage was given to the champion. And I think that is the biggest lesson that anyone can take from this fight, whether they're a boxer or they're a kickboxer wanting to get into boxing, is you have to knock the champion out. If you want to win, if you want the title, you have to knock the champion out. If you don't knock him out, every single advantage will go to the champ.
You couldn't have said something more true, man. That's true. You got to knock him out. To guarantee a win, you have to knock him out. Otherwise, the odds are stacked against you, man. They're stacked heavily against you.
All right, that was a mad fight. I think Usyk should rematch Rico, and I think Usyk would destroy him in this fight. And I know we said that, everyone said that about the first fight, and we don't know how Rico will respond having seen Usyk in the flesh and fought him and shared the ring with him.
Yeah.
But when you look at Usyk, when you look at Dubois, when you look at Fury, when you look at AJ, when you look at all the fights that he's had, when he's had a rematch, he's always destroyed the guy in the second fight.
Yeah.
The first fights, for example, even with Fury, that was a close fight. But the second fight, again, it was close, but not as close. Dubois, the same thing. And I think once Usyk understands how you fight, then he will strategize around that. So I think Rico Usyk rematch should be next for Usyk, and I think it should be much easier for Usyk. And I think age-wise, it's probably the best thing for him to now close the chapter by getting rid of this guy in 4 or 5 rounds in a rematch.
Yeah.
And then he can retire and sail off into the sunset and say that he was the greatest of the generation. But right now, you can't with this little comma. It's not even a question mark. It's just like a comma. It's like to be continued.
Yeah.
So you can't finish now when there's actually like, should you not go back to this guy and actually take him out if you want to be that guy?
But Ace, it shows you how good Usyk is that he has one sort of
Close.
little blip, like a close fight, and now we're thinking about how his legacy is affected by it. It's because his standard's been so high up until now.
But also, I think it's because it was a kickboxer. If it was someone else, if it was an Italma, if it was an Italma and he came really close, everyone would say, you know what, Usyk, top man, greatest. He even took out the new generations, you know, like future champion. He even did that. That's different than losing to or coming close against someone who this is their second professional boxing fight. Doesn't matter how long you've been boxing. Doesn't matter how long you've been doing kickboxing. You haven't trained as a kickboxer. Whereas you, Usyk, you have trained as a boxer your whole life. So it shouldn't be that close.
True. No. That's fair. And I suppose when you look at the context of it, that's why people are coming down hard on him. In terms of the next fight being Rico, I think that's the way to go. But I think it's not done for Usyk after that.
You think some more after that?
100%.
But he's fighting like once a year. He's not fighting even twice a year. Yeah. So he's 39 now. Next year he's going to be 40. Who's he gonna contest at the age of 40 at this point? Maybe a Chisora.
I think he'll fight one of the younger guys coming up. Not an Italma, but I think he'll fight a Sanchez, a Caballero. I think he'll fight one of those two after a rematch with Rico. Because they're pushing for that Caballero. It's like it's interesting, isn't it? It's like it's a rhetoric. Anytime anyone's talking about heavyweight boxing now, Caballero's coming in. It's almost like when Dylan White was #1 contender for like 3 years and he never had a shot. Caballero's been #1 contender for 14 months or something like that.
15 months.
14, 15 months. And again, everyone's calling for that. So I feel like that will be potentially in the next 2 fights. He'll fight Caballero. But he's done laps around the division. He doesn't need to fight again. But I just seen the way I see Usyk, the way I see his hunger still, I think that will be. I don't think the next Rico fight will be the last fight for him, to be honest.
I saw a really interesting post by Ajit Caballero where he posted a picture from many, many years ago with him and Usyk.
Okay.
And he wrote as the caption, he said, "Back then, I wanted a picture with you. Now, I want to share the ring with you. And if you don't want to share the ring with me, be graceful as a champion and vacate the belt and let me have a chance at it." And that is, you can't get more fair than that.
Fair dues, yeah.
My guy is just like, yo, listen, if you don't want to fight me, at least just let the belt go. Do your big money fights. Fight whoever you want to fight. Just like, let me have the belt. Like, I'm not desperate to fight you, Usyk.
Yeah.
But I will because I want the belt. And if you don't want to fight me, then bro, you got to give the belt up.
Vacate the belt. Go fight Wilder. Do you know what I mean?
Go fight what? That would be a sick fight.
It'll be a sick fight. He'll
destroy him.
Like he'll make Wilder look like a little kid in there. But go fight Wilder if that's what you want to do. If you want to say that you beat all the kings of our generation, of this generation right now, Wilder's the only guy left. Apart from that, who? Andy Ruiz? Andy Ruiz's name isn't a Wilder name. Do you understand? He was champion for one fight. Obviously, did majorly good against AJ when he beat him. But I think it's only Wilder left, really. If you want to do, properly complete the division, it's just Wilder left, and then you're done, bruv.
That's true, actually. I think Usyk should fight Wilder over Caballel because in terms of legacy, in terms of cleaning up the division, like, that is your generation. Even Dubois is kind of crossover between new and old generation. He's kind of in the middle. Whereas Wilder was champion for years. He held that
100%.
belt for years.
And undefeated for a long time.
Until Fury.
Yeah, exactly.
Until Fury. And I think that's an interesting one as well, because when you look at the first Fury-Wilder fight, again, who did the advantage go to? It went to the champion. It went to the champion. It was a draw in the first fight because they had to favor the champion somehow.
It's true, but I think so much happened in that fight to affect judges' opinion, though. That was a crazy fight. Bro, how many times did Fury go down? When he went down heavy and got up like the Undertaker, it was like, whoa, like, this is mad.
Yeah.
What a crazy fight. Like, it's a hard job for judges, man. If they're watching that, if you're seeing that happen and they're saying there was a long count in that fight as well, it was just so many moving parts, man.
Do you know
that first fight was crazy?
It's interesting. There's a couple of fights that are just absolutely legendary, right? One is the Khabib Conor McGregor fight because of what happened afterwards, and actually all the build up as well, but what happened afterwards as well.
Yeah.
But like, in terms of boxing, that Fury versus Wilder, Wilder 1 has to be one of the most exciting fights of all time. And actually, when you think about it, the whole trilogy was sick. And for me, my favorite fight was the third fight.
Oof.
The third fight was just brutal.
Unbelievable. Gladiators.
Woo. I remember seeing one video. It was a slow-mo video of Fury getting punched by Wilder. And you can just see the ripple from Wilder's fist onto his face and the ripples of Fury's skin and fat all the way down his body, all the way down his back. You can just see the impact ripples going through him.
Crazy.
It was brutal. Great fight.
What a fight. That was amazing.
All right, let's move on from the heavyweight division onto our boy, Hamzah Sheeraz. World champion, WBO super middleweight world champion, Hamzah Sheeraz.
Champ. Unbelievable, bro.
Talk to me about that fight.
Is there much to say about that fight? He came out and just schooled the guy. He just schooled him. The difference in the class of the two boxers was, bro, it's massive. It was a huge gap in skills, in power, in being ready for the occasion. Bro, Hamzah's been a world champion before he was a world champion for years now. The way he carries himself, he's unique. He don't do what all the other boxers does. He trains exceptionally hard. Bro, he was a champ already, and now he's just sealed it by getting that title, man. And mashallah, he done the business, man. I'm so proud of him, bro.
Mashallah. Big up. And I think what's really exciting about Hamzah is the fact that he's so proud of his both British and Pakistani identities, and he merges the two together. He's got a huge following of English fans, and then you've got the whole Pakistani community, British Pakistani, and the whole Muslim community behind you. That's rated. I think the performance, again, people are criticizing the opponent and saying that he's won a world title against a lesser opponent. First of all, you can't choose who's a mandatory.
100%.
You can't choose that. That's to do with the organizations. He had to go in there and face someone who trains in boxing, who is a professional fighter. Doesn't matter. The guy, Alan Begic, still a professional fighter. Clearly, he's in that ranking for a reason. Yeah. It's not that he's a joke. It's just compared to who Hamzah is, it was obvious that Hamzah was going to win. That being said, how many times have we seen fights? Look at Usyk, Rico.
Banana skins, yeah.
Banana skins. You can go in there and you can face someone and you can look terrible. Even if you win, look at Usyk. Everyone's questioning Usyk now after clearing out 2 divisions, undisputed, unbeaten, undefeated in 2 divisions, cruiserweight and heavyweight, in a very, very tough era. He has one close fight and everyone's like, ooh, is he the man? You know, is he untouchable now? And then you look at someone like Hamzah, he's gone into this fight against someone that everyone is saying is a lesser opponent. What would have happened if? What would have happened if Alan Begic got one lucky punch on Hamzah and Hamzah goes down? What would have happened then? So the thing is Hamzah, yes, was levels above Alan Begic. However, he had to show that in the ring. He had to
100%.
deliver that.
Yeah,
If he
yeah.
didn't deliver the performance that he delivered, then people would be questioning him. Even if it went to the 5th or the 6th or the 7th round and then he got the knockout, people would question him.
Yep.
So even my prediction of the 3rd round was incorrect because he finished the job in 2.
Bang.
Demolition job.
Killed him, bro.
Demolition job in front of the pyramids. Hamzah Sheeraz, WBO super middleweight world champion.
Proud moment. What a proud moment. And he beat him like he was his dad. Do you remember that press conference where Dubois goes to Big Baby Miller? I'm going to beat you like I'm your daddy. Like, that's how he beat him.
Yeah, he schooled him.
Bro, he schooled him. He just beat the shit out of him, bro.
Oh, can I just say one thing about Hamzah Sheeraz?
Go on.
Dirtiest left hook in the game.
Oh, nasty.
The left hooks this mate, bro.
Nasty
My
left
man did a combination of like 7 left hooks.
Pop, pop, pop. Yeah.
7 left hooks and then jabs with the same hand and then, bro, I don't know what Andy Lee is teaching this guy, but he is brutal and his hooks are so deadly, fast, sharp, powerful. All of his punches, his whole foray of punches, his whole toolkit was unbelievable. It was definitely at a different level in this fight than what I've seen in other fights.
Yeah.
But the left hook was too dirty. The left hook was unbelievably dirty. The number of left hooks that Hamzah can pull out within like 3 seconds.
Yeah, bro. It was mean, bro. It was mean. And Begic just has to take it because they're coming in so quick. Pop, 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 pop. It was, bro. What a performance, man. He made it look like a professional fighter against a novice, bro. That's what he made it look like. And you can't knock him for that.
As it should be.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely. It's a mandatory. The sanctioning body chose who he was fighting. He went in there. He done a number on him, man. Great, bro. Who's next? That's the question, Ace.
So Canelo was asked about Hamzah Sheeraz. And one thing that's really interesting and exciting now is the fact that people are actually talking to Canelo about Hamzah.
Yeah.
And Canelo knows Hamzah because of his responses. And he knows when he's fighting. He knows he's following him. Obviously, they were together as well in Egypt. They would have been face to face. They would have shaken hands. They would have seen each other in the flesh.
They done photo shoots together in
They
front
done
of
photo
the. You
shoot-
see that photo shoot with all
yeah.
the champions lined up?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And so Canelo was asked about Hamzah, and Canelo's response was interesting. He said, "Yeah, why not? I've got my fight in September. He's got his fight tonight. Let's see how he does, and let's see how I do in September, and then we'll take it from there."
Bro, what a
Very
fight.
interesting, bro. Like for the fact that Hamzah's name is in that conversation now, you know what? It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible to see where he's come over the last 5 or 6 years to getting to where he is now. But like you said, it was only a matter of time for him to become a world champion. And I think something that you said was really important is actually the fact that you can tell with Hamzah that he had a vision for who he wanted to be, and he has just taken every single day to step into that person. So he had a vision for who that world champion is, what he looks like, how he would have trained, how he would have eaten, how he would have slept, the conversations he would have had, the people he would have had around him, how he would have thought mentally before going into any fight. All of those things he would have had a vision for, and slowly over the years he would have worked on becoming that person. And what I find very interesting about Hamzah is you can tell that he's already years ahead of where he is today. So even where we see him at today, in his mind, he's already years ahead, and all he's doing every day is working towards becoming that person.
Yep.
And I think that is really interesting. So it'd be very, very interesting to hear from Hamzah what his vision actually is. Where does he see himself in 5 years' time? He did say that he wants to retire by the time he's 32.
Oh, did he? Okay.
So it could just be a case of he's going to go in, clear this division, probably move up another weight, clear that division, and then call it a day. I think he's going to do a Khabib where he just says, cool, I'm done now. I don't think Hamzah's the type of person that's going to fight until he's 38 because the meals are on the table. I think Hamzah's the type of person that by the time he leaves the game, he's probably going to have other fighters under his belt. He's going to have other businesses that will make sure that he's not fighting or he's not in boxing for the money, because then it's a blood sport. And I don't think Hamzah is the type of person that wants to stay in the blood sport and bleed himself,
Yeah.
you know, when he gets into his mid-30s. I
He's
think he
smarter
wants
than
to. I think he wants to build himself. He wants to build his name. He wants to create a legacy, and then get out,
and bounce.
and then help people and do what he needs to do
Mm-hmm.
to put others in position. That's where I see him. But it'd be very interesting to hear what he says. Either way, who do you think he should fight next?
I think Canelo fight would be ideal.
Next,
Yeah. Who's he fighting? Who's Canelo fighting? Christian Mbili.
which was meant to be Hamza's fight.
Yeah.
So I think that would probably be the next fight, right? Christian Mbili, Hamza. If Canelo beats Mbili.
If Canelo beats Mbili, then I think that the Canelo and Hamza fight could be next. I also think that there's a bit of needle there. I don't know where it came from, but I see it from Hamza's side when I was watching a short clip where he's asked about certain fighters and they're bringing up the names and it's just one word reactions to the fighter.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that? Yeah. And what
Tommy Hearns.
Yeah, Tommy Hearns. What did they say when they named Chris Eubank Jr.? What did he say? Do you remember?
No, what do you say?
Waste man.
Oh, is that what you said?
That's what Hamza said. Waste man. So maybe it's because Chris has obviously dissed a lot of people in boxing, including Frank Warren, scumbags, and all this kind of stuff. Maybe it's that's caused it. Maybe they have had something personal between them. Maybe they sparred. I don't know. I haven't heard it. But he called him a waste man.
No, they've had a long ongoing thing for a while, and I think
is it?
I think what Hamza doesn't like about Chris Eubank Jr. is the fact that when Chris Eubank Jr. is asked about Hamza, his response is always like, "Don't really know him, don't really watch him, like he's just a kid to me." You know what I mean? So he's just like buoying him off.
Yeah.
And again, my thing on that is like, okay, fine, you're saying that, but you're only saying that because you think that you could lose, and you don't want people to say that you lost to some kid, some new guy.
Yeah.
You want to at least fight someone who has got more of a record and more age, so that you can justify it being a closer fight, or you can justify why you lost. I love Chris Eubank Jr. I think he's a sick fighter. I think he's a sick personality. But I think that the thing is, I don't want to say that I think that, Hamza would definitely beat Eubank Jr. because Eubank Jr. is a tough fighter. Bro, man's got power. But I think Hamza's height, I think his freshness, and I think Hamza's power, his speed, I think would just be too much for Eubank Jr. And especially coming off of everything with the Conor Ben fights, his body is going to be more fragile. And he's probably just going to want to take a lesser opponent. It won't even be like a major big fight. He'll probably do like an arena. And he's probably going to have fights now where it's just his fans that are coming. It's not going to be for anything big like the Conor Ben fight or anything like that. I think he's going to have more like Liam Smith type characters.
You reckon?
Where they don't necessarily have a name. They've got good record, but they're still beatable.
I think that Eubank Jr. won't take a fight unless it's big money, man. To be honest. I think, and I was listening to Ben Shalom the other day, and he said he's got whatever's coming up for Chris is going to be a massive fight. Maybe not a stadium fight, but could be a stadium fight. But I don't see Chris Eubank Jr. stepping into the ring for something short of like big 7, 8 figure sort of purses.
Yeah, 5 mil I think is probably going to be his price tag moving forward. Like he took 10 mil from Turkey for the rematch against Conor Ben.
Yeah.
But like that was one of the biggest fights,
in British boxing
history.
Yeah, true.
And it was always going to be that way. So the fact that he asked for 10 mil, he got 10 mil, fine. But like I don't think he's going to get that again. I think he's a huge draw, but like that was probably the peak of his financial earnings as a boxer. But very interesting, and I think that would be a sick fight for British boxing to see Hamza versus Chris Eubank Jr. That would be a massive.
That's a stadium fight.
That's a stadium fight. That's 100% a stadium fight.
Yeah.
So they need to pull their finger out. But you know what's interesting? I heard an Eddie Hearn interview today.
Yeah.
And do you know what's very interesting? What's very interesting about Eddie Hearn is that he's kind of being a bit more pally-pally with Chris Eubank Jr. these days.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
Because obviously Conor Ben screwed him over.
Yeah.
And do you know what Eddie Hearn said today? He said, we know that Chris had to go through a lot to make that weight. We know what he had to do, especially on the last day, to strip himself down to make that weight perfectly. So he's now making excuses for Chris Eubank Jr. in that Conor Ben, Chris Eubank Jr. fight.
Mad,
when them two had the maddest beef, but now all the loyalties are all over the place.
Yep.
And it just goes to show you it's all about the money, baby. Whoever's got the money in boxing, whoever's got the opportunity, That's where people are going to go. That's where the loyalty lies. There is no loyalty in boxing.
If you want loyalty in boxing, get a Labrador, bruv. That's what. Who said that? I think it was Carl Froch said that. If you want loyalty in boxing, get a dog, man, because you ain't gonna get loyalty in boxing.
That was crazy when I heard that, because two things. One, Eddie Hearn went back on his whole stance against drug cheats for Conor Ben.
Yeah.
And then Conor Ben screwed him over. And now he's like, yo, like Chris Eubank Jr., he had to do a lot to make that way. Like, it was a tough fight for him. And he was essentially alluding to the fact that they were trying to screw him over. They were trying to make sure that he wasn't able to be at his best. And I was listening to that interview and I was thinking to myself, like, man, Chris Eubank Sr., he called it.
He's right about everything.
He called it. He called it straight away.
Yeah.
And now you've got Eddie essentially admitting to the fact that, yeah, we did want to make Chris Eubank Jr. handicapped in that fight by draining him of the weight. And that was dangerous for him. And what he had to do was so amazing. I was like, yo, Eddie, you are sick, bro, because you don't care, bro. It's all about, where am I gonna get paid? And fair enough, that's what the game is.
Bro, I think a big thing in this that it maybe is overlooked is that Eddie's going to be talking positive about Chris Eubank Jr. now. Firstly, because of the Conor Ben leaving Matchroom. But secondly, Eubank Jr. came out and said, I'm a free agent.
Yeah, he did.
Even though he's still in contract, apparently, with Boxer and Ben Shalom, he came out and said, I'm a free agent. Eddie Hearn seeing money signs, baby. If Eddie Hearn gets him off Boxer, bro, Eddie Hearn can do a madness with him.
Dirty money.
He could do a madness with him, bro.
Yeah.
There's massive fights there.
Yeah.
Bro,
and Eddie will big Chris Eubank Jr. up so much.
Yeah, of course.
He's going to big him up so much. He's going to... Bro, if Chris Eubank Jr. works with Eddie Hearn, he'll turn Eddie Eubank Jr. into a household name.
100%. If he isn't already, he's just going to climb him up. He's just going to elevate his sort of notoriety like crazy, bro. And on top of that, he's already got Ben Whittaker from Boxer as well. So this plays into his whole thing of taking fighters from Ben Shalom as well. It plays into all of that as well. If Eddie Hearn signs him, it's gonna do bits.
You know what? Just before we wrap things up, I think something that's very interesting. Something that's very interesting. What do you think about this?
Go on.
This is totally a separate topic of conversation. Okay, what do you think about this? You got Zuffa Boxing. You got Dana White, who runs Zuffa Boxing.
Yeah.
He's signed Chris Billum Smith. He signed Conor Ben. He signed Jaya Patea. He signed all these other smaller fighters as well.
Yep.
And his whole thing is about really building names and building champions and building this thing out. Do you know who I think he should sign? I think Dana White should sign Anthony Yarde to Zuffa. My guy is a monster chaser. Anthony Yarde chases monsters.
Yep.
You can imagine if Dana White gets Anthony Yarde. Anthony Yarde has a cult-like following. British boxing fans love Anthony Yarde.
Yep.
So that's number one. Number two, Anthony Yarde is a sick fighter. He's lost a lot of fights because he's been fighting greats, generational greats.
And away as well.
And away.
Bro, he go to the Lion's Den. I know his camp's called the Lion's Den, but he will literally go into the Lion's Den to fight the hardest fighter in the division. And he's done that over and over again. And, bro, you can't respect it enough. He's just a G, man.
So Dana White, tap up Anthony Yarde. He's waiting for your phone call.
Well worth it.
Well worth it. My guy is a cult hero, sick boxer, and he will fight any single person that you put in front of him as long as the check is good.
And he looks the part. Imagine him going to America, because they love aesthetics there. It's all about aesthetics for them. They're going to look at Anthony Yarde and be like, look at this guy. He's just like a slightly smaller Joshua. Do you understand? Like, it just looks great as well. Bro, I think he could do bits in Zuffa Boxing, and he could become a huge name in America, because they wouldn't really know him too much at this present moment in time.
And
Only
he'll put on a
boxing
show.
fans, yeah. And he'll always put on a show.
He'll put on
He
a
keeps
show.
on coming forward. Bro, he's incredible. He's got a heart of a lion, man. Just big up Anthony Yarde.
Big up Anthony Yarde. He's a friend of fighter, and I wish him all the best. And I think that he needs to get them big money fights because he deserves it. He deserves it. All right. Before we wrap up, just a very quick word on tonight's card. Main fight is Adam Azim versus Steve Cleggett.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Azim, generational talent, by far. I think he's probably looked at what Hamza's done, and he really wants the world title now.
Yeah.
I think he's like so ready for a world title.
Mm.
Obviously, it's going to be up to whatever Shane McGuigan and his management team want him to do, and how quickly they want to progress him. But I can tell that Adam Azim is ready for a world title fight. He's been clearing every single one of his opponents out in 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah.
So when you're clearing multiple fighters out that quickly, knocking them out that quickly, fine, you do need to have some more fights and pace things out. He's only had 14 fights, which is crazy because he's such a big name. So maybe they want to take him to like 19, 20 fights, get him that ring experience. And when you are in the ring for only 4 or 5 rounds and you're not experiencing round 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you're not going to those difficult, hard places. So I think maybe they want to push the level up a little bit before taking him to a world title level. But let's see if something like what happened with the WBO super middleweight title belt happens, where there's two mandatories, and hey, one of the mandatories is levels below the other guy. You know, imagine if something like that pops up. I think Adam Azim will be all over that, wanting to become world champion. And what a journey, what a story, from being 5 years old to saying that I want to be world champion, to within 20 years. 20 years, if you think about it, 20 years he's dedicated to the sport of boxing. Every single day, this has been what he's lived and breathed, to then becoming a world champion before you even turn 25. I think that's possible, and I think that that would be incredible, and I think he should do a parade in Slough with his world title belts, because I think out of all the fighters, you've got Amir Khan, you've got Hamzah, who Amir Khan has ties to Slough. Hamzah was born in Slough, but with Adam, he's born, raised, trained in Slough. He's still in Slough. He's still here. He's still a local boy. You'll still see him in the masjid every now and again. He's still about. You know, sometimes I see him in the shopping, like in Nike or wherever. So that would be incredible, because that is literally a local lad who I remember used to train in these fields, these big hills. He used to just do hill sprints. Him and Hassan used to do these hill sprints up and down, up and down. We used to see these kids. We used to see them as kids training.
Amazing, yeah.
And for them to now be at that level is incredible. And I think what's interesting is, for anyone who did see Hassan and Adam when they were kids and they were growing up and they were training, I think everyone always kind of saw. We would always know, because you would just see these two kids with Coach Khalil. They would always be training. They'd always be about. They'd always be training. Whenever you'd see them, they'd be training. You'd never see them out on road. You never see them hanging around. If you wanted to see them, they're either in the field doing hill sprints, or they're in the gym. Working out. Those are the two places you'd find them.
But when did you tell me about Adam Azim? Maybe 10 years ago? You're like, there's this kid at Khalil's gym.
About 5-6 years ago.
About 5-6 years ago. You said there's this kid at Khalil's gym. And he said, Nogs, he's just got this killer look in his eyes. He says, just looks like a killer, bro. I was like, who's this guy? You told me about him. And then obviously from then, he's turned pro and he's done bits, and he's still a killer. I think, now, correct me if I'm wrong, when you say about having ring experience and him working his way up to a world title, I think he's ready now. Bro, he's been boxing since basically he could walk. He doesn't need that ring experience, right? Bro, he's been boxing his whole life. His whole life has been geared towards him becoming a world champion. It's just about getting that opportunity to show, all right, cool, I'm here and I'm going to take over, and then I'm going to have a domestic super fight with Dalton Smith. We're going to unify the division. And I just think everything is sort of shaping up for him to be the next star, bro. Inshallah. That 147 division, he's going to do it.
Inshallah. Yeah, just to recap on that story, because obviously it's not something that I've shared before on the FYTCAST. I remember I used to train in COVID times at Khalil's gym, and I went into the gym, and it must have been the first training session. Everyone's hitting the bags, and I remember turning and seeing these two kids, They weren't kids at the time. They were probably 18 or 19 at the time. And both of them, Hassan and Adam, both killers in the gym. But I remember saying to Nagi, I remember seeing Adam and saying that one of the brothers has this killer look on his face and he would be smiling. I remember seeing Adam in the gym and he would be smiling as he's assaulting the bag and he's going crazy on the bag and he's enjoying it, he's loving it. And I saw that look in his eyes of pure pleasure at how much power, how much speed he could generate. You could see that he enjoys himself progressing and learning and getting that feedback through the sound of the bag.
Yeah.
That to me was enough for me to know that both of these guys are going to do mains. But there was definitely something about Adam where there was an extra sense of pleasure that he got in punching, in hurting, in boxing, in fighting. He gains pleasure from it. And that is a very dangerous man to go up against.
Bro, you have to be a bit sick in the head, bro. Do you understand? You have to be a bit sick in the head, bro. For you to love it when you're up against it like that, you have to be a bit sick in the head. And to be honest, most world champions are. And inshallah, that's where he's heading to, bro. Let's get it, Adam. And inshallah, you're going to kill it tonight.
Inshallah. Adam Azim, the next future world champion that we're going to have, British Pakistani Muslim world champion that we're going to have coming out the UK. First, we've got Hamzah Sheeraz of this generation. Obviously, everything started with Amir Khan. This generation's leader is Hamzah Sheeraz, Adam Azim. You've got brothers like Shabazz Masood. You've got Ibrahim Spider Suleiman. You've got the new generation. You've got Sakir Mahmood.
Sakir Mahmood as well. He's fighting tonight as well. Inshallah, I met him the other day. Randomly bumped into him. Really nice brother. He's going to be fighting. He's 135 pounds. 3-0. I've seen him on the pads and stuff. Been looking into him. Looks sharp. Looks killer, man.
Inshallah.
Let's see. Inshallah, he looks good tonight as well. And yeah, things are looking great for us, man. By us, I mean British boxing, British Pakistani Muslim boxers in the UK. Everything's looking up, man. And to be honest, it was Amir Khan, it was Prince Nassim, bro, who started all of this really, and it's just.
Yeah,
it's just nicely trickling down to the next generation. As it's trickling down, the things is getting wider and wider and wider, and it's absolutely beautiful, man.
Well put, Nagi. Very, very well put. I think that's absolutely correct. I think Prince Nassim and Amir Khan, I think those two, obviously Prince Nassim used to come out with the Azan, middle of Madison Square Garden, like just different.
Yep.
And then you had Amir Khan, who really represented for the British Pakistanis. And like you said, now you've had a whole generation of kids that saw Amir Khan and Prince Nassim and they watched the videos back and their parents were fans.
Their dads were fans.
The dads were fans.
Yeah,
the mums were fans.
Yeah.
Everyone was fans of these people. And then it became acceptable to put your kids into boxing because, hey, Amir Khan, look at him. World champion. You know, extremely successful, extremely well loved.
Yep.
Why don't we put our kids in? We can do it. We can't do football. Asians do not have the knees for football. We can't do it.
Knees, bro. That's
No,
crazy.
it's the knees, bro.
Is it the knees?
Bro, speak to any baller any baller that played for a club in their youth, they'll all say the same thing. Oh, I was sick. I was touted for Chelsea. I was touted for Fulham. I was touted for this. But the knees, bro.
Cruciate
but
ligament.
the knees.
Everyone, MCL, ACL, everybody. Yeah,
But bro, why do you think there's no brown people in football?
Do you think that's what it is?
It's a genetic thing, bro. It's the knee, bro.
it's the
I'm
knees.
telling you, it's the knees. We don't have the knees for it. We just don't have the knees for it.
Pause.
But boxing, bro, Pakistanis can fight. If there's one thing that we know how to do, it is fight. Whether a Pakistani has trained or not, the guy can fight.
They'll have a row, innit? Yeah, they'll have a row.
They'll have a row, bro.
They'll have a row. Yeah, it's true.
All right, let's wrap things up then. Usyk versus Rico Verhoeven. Crazy fight. Usyk won the fight by knockout. I want to say in the 11th round, but actually technically it was after the 11th round, so I don't know what round it counts as that he was
wasn't
knocked
even
in.
a round.
It wasn't even a round. It was between the rounds that apparently he got knocked out and the fight was called. So fine, fair enough. Well done to Usyk. I think it should be run back. I don't think it will be run back. I think Usyk will probably fight Wilder in Istanbul, and that would be crazy. Well done to Hamzah Sheeraz once again on becoming the WBO super middleweight world champion. Mashallah. Here's to bigger and better things, unifying the division and becoming a household name. Because once you become a household name, that's a result of the work that you've put in.
Definitely, man. And it's a dedication and it's a whole team, bro. Like Adam, from when he was a baby, his dad pushed for him to become a world champion from when he was born. So it's father's plan. Do you understand? It's not the Khabib father's plan, but his father's plan is Adam Azim's father's plan. So it's beautiful, man.
100%.
Lovely when a plan comes together, bro. And
Shout out to-
inshallah, that's what's happening next.
Shout out to Dad Azim, shout out
Big
to
up.
Shiraz Kamran, the two fathers of Adam, Hassan, and obviously Hamza, respectively. It's not easy. It's not easy to take your kids on a daily or every other day or even once a week to do boxing or to. There's so many things that you could do, but they've dedicated their lives to putting their kids into this sport, and now those kids are bearing the fruit.
Bro, they're at the top of their divisions, man.
MashaAllah.
MashaAllah, amazing.
Congrats to the brothers. Good luck to everyone tonight. Adam Azim and Saki Mahmood in particular. Good luck to your brothers. Inshallah, make sure you come back home with us W's, and we will catch you next week.
Inshallah, man. See you guys next week. Big up yourselves.